From the great state of Texas, you are now listening to Skip the Noise podcast, a Rounded Edge Media production. Thank you so much for joining us. And by us, of course, I'm referring to Rick, aka the Brown Python Ben, aka Mexican Nostradamus, and yours truly, Benji, here for another fantastic episode. Shout out to Mike Tacklebox for the music. And yes, you heard me correctly. We're finally
the triumphant is here.
The triumvirate is ready to
just
devour your souls with our
that's dope.
Our predictive information.
It's kind of guarish.
We get it right every time. Yeah, we're the guar.
We're the guar of news.
Guar of news. I like it.
Nice. Can you imagine we build like these fucking things, like these huge fucking things, and we're like, oh, the economy today. It's just like starts like eating people out of the crowd and shit.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, speaking of the guar of news, you know who's the guar of politics?
Who's this?
The guar of politics just recently had this crazy deep fake made, and it got everybody up in a tizzy because it was so realistic.
Tizzy.
Everybody was up in a tizzy because this thing was so realistic and freakish. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Rick, I mean, it's fucking crazy, right?
It's your man. It's your mandom.
And, dude. Basically, the deep fake, for those of you who haven't seen it, it's a deep fake of Trump being arrested by police. But
that wasn't a gangbang?
Oh, nice.
No, not yet.
Not that part's next. That's how
I don't think that's the fake one though.
Dude, that's how the porn starts.
I don't think that was the fake though. That's not the deep fake. The deep fake's him getting arrested. Okay, I'm sorry.
That's another video.
The real one's him getting the train ran on him. Okay, I'm sorry.
That's on the Rumble that you have to pay extra to get access.
That's on Truth Social.
Truth Social, yeah. Truth Social Premium. Truth Social Premium. You can
get ready for prison. He's gonna have to keister that shit.
No, he is. He's really getting ready.
But yeah, so it's a crazy picture. So anyone says if you just type in deepfake Trump, you basically see Trump being accosted, and like almost to the point like where like they're carrying Trump into like a paddy wagon. It's fucking crazy. It's one of the craziest things.
Yeah. It's like they're taking him in after he's resisting arrest.
Exactly. He's like it's like he's fighting the power.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
He looks like Antifa.
Yeah. He looks like a protester that they're about to throw in a fucking paddy wagon in the Chad zone.
Oh, bro, he looks 100% like that.
Everybody knows that Antifa doesn't get arrested. You know that.
But
he looks like a January 6th protester. There you go.
No, dude. He looks like he's getting his ass beat. But it's crazy because guess what? This particular the deep fake of the arrest actually got, like, from just looking at what it had 5.4 million views.
Yeah.
It actually fooled some fucking people out there. Like people are starting to get like, people are getting fucking like really irate and going like, hey, country, don't you arrest Trump. And, you know, people really got faked because of just his call, because we talked about this last week, because of his call to action and protest and stuff. So, you know, wow, those were pretty fizzled out, right? I mean, there was like 3 dudes who showed up, and none of them had teeth, and that was about it, to protest the New York DA, who, of course, in this show of complete ridiculousness, like put up these walls in front of their fucking place and shit for the 3 protesters that actually showed up. You know, so it's interesting, definitely interesting, but the technology is crazy. That's what I kind of wanted to talk about.
The case itself fell apart already. It's falling apart.
Oh,
there's just no way it's gonna happen.
No,
the
Georgia one's the one that's going to get him, though. Everyone knows that. The Georgia one, he's fucked.
Here we go again.
No. The Georgia one's real. The Georgia one, you can't call someone and say, find me 20,000 votes.
Yeah, but how do you, it's context. How do you say
no, dude.
Hey man, what can you do to find me 5,000 votes? I mean,
dude, this is coming from lawyers on both sides. Like, he's properly fucked with this Georgia charge. Like, it's going to happen. And Georgia's a Republican state, and they are pursuing it. So I don't think so, buddy.
Governor Kemp's not a big fan of him. So
no, you can say whatever you want about anything, but that's a Republican state that, you know, I don't know, bro. I think the Georgia one's going to get him. But But nonetheless, I think the technology is crazy because, you're seeing deepfakes of everything, right? You're seeing deepfakes of, I think, what was it? Rogan was talking about how he had someone did a deepfake between him and some other famous person he had interviewed, a whole interview where they just took clips of audio and stuff. That's, to me, when does that become the real news? Right? When do deepfakes, because you already see sound bites, right? You already see media cut up to portray the story that they want. When do they just start deepfaking everything?
Well, that's the thing with more on the deepfake side, like when you see these images, like if you just pull it up, all you have to do, man, is slap like a discernible news font, right? On the top of that image and be like, Trump gets, that's how man, like, how would you know the fucking difference?
Yep. That's the thing. 5.4 million people.
How? You don't, and unless you really, it highlights, it highlights A, how easy that is, but B, how vigilant you have to be as a person in this world today, where you have like what kind of stuff you intake. You really have to I don't know, beyond just reviewing the sources, it's almost like a mindset. You have to just be like, what I'm seeing. In other words, you can only believe what is actually right in front of you, man.
You know what it is?
There's so many avenues to deceive. So yeah, go ahead.
You know what it is? It's okay. It's how can I say this? You know how the boomers kind of fell for fake posts on Facebook?
Right.
You couldn't tell what was real news or fake news. Mm-hmm. This is our generation's fake news. This is our boomer. Gen X's are coming up, and this is our boomers' way of fake news on the internet. So we're gonna be old. We're gonna be 60 years old, all of us, and we're gonna be like discussing, oh my God, did you see how Trump got arrested? And we're gonna think it's real. But every youngster out there is gonna be saying like, no, that wasn't real. You got to know that. Anyway.
Well, but right, but but the question is what happens whenever they paint the narrative so much that the deepfake, you know what I'm saying? Like when it becomes so undiscernible, right? The way that Trump painted the picture already, it was like, this is what's going to happen.
No, for sure. Like
it was a self-serving, like fallacy painting, whatever you want to call it. It's, I think in me, it's like in this world of clickbait and shit, these are the stories that will pick up the most traction. So that's why, to me, this deepfake shit is going to be the news. It sounds stupid, but I don't know if you guys ever seen 1984 or just other movies where they kind of portrayed this kind of dystopian society where there's like really, fake news. This will take fake news to that real next level, right?
100%. Because you know why? Because look at it this way, right? The way you take it now, the way that the media, let's say, has evolved or devolved in the last like 25 years, because of that, like that sort of natural algorithm that happens that finds its way how to make the most money. It just knows, like, generally speaking, what's going to get more clicks, right? So that's the stuff that leads. If it bleeds, it leads, blah, 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 blah. Like, you feed that whole system to where you end up with where we are now, to where the only thing that can hold your interest for like half a fucking second is something like that. Well, now you've got the capabilities to, because the more fucking visceral part of that experience is like the image that comes with it. So like, you know how, let's say you're trying to, let's say the headline is something like, Biden is so lost, he doesn't know where he is. Well, of course, you take an image that you have from like one of 10 billion.
Well, that's not necessarily fake news, though.
No. But this is what I'm saying. This is how this, like, you paint these narratives. You have an image of him like he's halfway between a sentence, and somebody just snapped a photo where he looks like he's and so they put that like as the image. Well, now look at this though. Now you don't even have to like go through the stockpile of images that exist. You just be like, hey, chat image creator or GPT fucking whatever,
or Bard or whichever one you're using.
Yeah, here, clicky.
The Hell 2000.
Yeah, right. Whatever it is, you can just say, I want an image of Donald Trump
blowing 16 guys.
Yeah, right. And then it's just like, okay, cool. And it's like in about 3 or 4 seconds. Boom, here you go. Well, now just use that and put that as the fucking image, and you say
we're like
Trump blew 67 guys
Dude,
in an alley behind
for hours. He just got bukkakied, and you're just like, Trump bukkake film. I mean,
right. But that's what nobody.
Is it going to be like?
Wait, he's gonna. Oh no, go ahead, Rick. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say you're gonna see Trump like sitting on that couch with like 5 dudes behind him.
Oh, you seen that bro, and they're all just like, yeah. Who's gonna get the tax cuts now? Didn't that already happen though? Isn't that reality?
But think about campaign angles. So like Trump's in the primaries, he's like, I've got pictures, Ron DeSantis with 7 naked men in a pool in Florida. Boy. Dude, and then you know what I mean? And then
did you hear what he said though, right?
Yeah, he said he's like a gay pedophile.
Yeah, he said he's like a groomer. You're just like, why is he get you Ron DeSantis? He's definitely maybe some younger teenagers, maybe some men. I mean, dude, he literally on a campaign trail just called somebody a pedophile groomer and gay in one soundbite.
Right. And now he can make images with fucking.
Oh, yeah.
Wombo.
Oh, dude, you don't think he already has all those images? I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's the scary fucking part about this deepfake is, it's as much as like we like to think whatever about ourselves, but we have so much audio out there that someone could literally stitch together a conversation. Well, there was that funny conversation. Remember, what's his name? They did for me and Rick, where I was Republican and Rick was Democrat. Remember, Jeremy did it?
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, that was a wild
audio editing wizard.
Coming to you live from the real space city, somewhere along the astral plane. We bring you a rare glimpse into a heated debate already in progress. Skip the noise in the upside down.
Bro, what about?
No. Hear me out. Check it out. So the way that Biden's doing right now, if everybody wins, you can admit that.
What the fuck? Like you guys just fucking take when it comes to just all out dumb shit.
Donald Trump, yes, horrible that happens to the country. Horrible.
Are you serious? Trump? I've just been completely motivated listening to Trump talk.
No.
I mean, he's firebombing shit. Trump DVD, it's the most awesome thing in the world. And then Trump CD, Trump MP3. Oh, I've done it. It is, you lose your mind. It's 11 hours. And then on top of that, having Trump rallies, fucking like Proud Boys and shit. I told you, I see Trump tattooed on his ass. I admit Trump rallies out here, the Republican Party, still people out here marching
with their Trump flags.
Exactly. That's what I'm telling you. That's American patriots looking for freedom of the American Super Act. I mean, come on. The sick political atmosphere we have right now.
Antifa's these youngs who go to college.
No, I bet. Or Biden. In Obama's presidency, just didn't do anything.
What?
Dude, every other week was some type of stupid. And what about January 6th?
What about it?
That was not a conspiracy theory. A cabal of the Democrats who drink baby's blood that were stealing the presidential election.
This is a conspiracy theory at its best.
Everything is a conspiracy one way or the other. Trump people, they know the reality. Oh, yeah, we never really thought he won.
I'll tell you my version of events.
But this is the reality now. I said the Q pledge on July 4th.
Dude, how do you even know what the Q pledge is?
Dude, because I went down the rabbit hole.
What I was going to say is these
Biden's doing a horrible job.
No.
But when Trump was president.
I'll tell you my version of events.
Worse with Biden.
My version of events is actually a little bit more realistic. Several people have already told me they're like, I did much, much better under Biden.
Your anecdotal evidence is incorrect. I don't give a fuck about regular people. I care about millionaires.
See? How is that a good thing?
Average American, more money with Trump. And now
prices are increasing. I think that's a good thing because now people are making more money.
When Trump was in office, everyone's making more money. I hate to say this. Unemployment paid Americans more than they've ever been paid. People aren't supposed to be making money on unemployment. And then the United States pays for those people's benefits. In the end, you say whatever you want. In the end, you know that's true.
Dab their tears with dollar bills because they had money.
Oh,
great.
People need workers.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I think, God damn, I can't even talk. Your boy, Benjamin James just might have to run for governor of Texas.
That'd be dope.
We can write you commercials. I think you'd win.
If you don't follow us on Instagram, now might be a good time. So you can start watching my fucking campaign videos,
bro.
Skip the noise in the upside down.
Yeah, you could tell, but dude, one day there won't be that break, right? One day it's going to sound exactly like that. Oh, like yeah. What? I mean, how do you handle cancel culture in a deep fake universe? Right? How do you do that? How do you handle cancel culture in a deep fake universe? That's fucking scary. I mean, anybody can be made to do anything.
And so there's two ways we go with this, right? Like the one is like we just get so far down the thing where there are a population of people that believe it. But like Rick pointed out, what about the element of people that are so media savvy now that they're like, oh, that's fake. Oh, that's bullshit. Because what he's talking about is kind of a real thing, right? Where the younger people that have kind of come up with technology, they sort of see they're able to pick apart stuff with a different sort of lens than we are.
Yeah.
So in other words, does it get so, or if you want to kind of throw in another element, like what happened with COVID and us not believing anything that like government officials say.
There you go.
So that's the other part. Yeah.
So you transpose that to like, well, now I don't believe any fucking thing anybody says. Right. Because if this, or at least like the media, which we don't already, but this elevates it to a whole nother thing. Cause it's like, fuck, this is the capability. Well, hell, let's go even further down the rabbit hole and just say, what happens when I don't even believe, am I even talking to you right now, Rick? Or is this a fucking image? No,
I fucking knew it.
That would be fucking cool, man.
But what about text messages? How much faith do you have that that's the actual person? Dude,
well, the reality is, how many text messages are you receiving in most instances, especially like, from sales companies, stuff like that, are actually in any way real?
Oh, I know. Yeah. Do I have the product? They keep asking me if I want to sell the property I have on like 1,500.
I fucking hate that shit.
I don't have that.
Why?
I don't know that. Can you just shut the fuck up? Or Senior Benefits always calls me.
Senior Benefits? They're already calling you?
They always call me, and I'm always like, sometimes
senior.
Exactly. Yeah. Depending on what kind of mood I'm in, sometimes I'm just like, okay, go fuck yourself, hang up.
Right.
But sometimes I'm like, really, like if I'm on an off day and I'm just kind of chilling, I've already had my workout and shit. You know what I mean? Had my like 8 cups of coffee, and I get one of those calls, and I'm like, let me fuck with them a little bit. And especially if they're not, I don't know, how do I put this? If their grasp of English isn't, 100%, maybe they're somewhere further down the chain. So I'm like, hey, this is a cool opportunity. And I'm like, well, I'm not. So I extend the conversation to the point. I did it one time. Dude, I talked to this one guy for like 5 minutes.
That's fucking fun.
Making it really weird. And it was like a game for me in my head. Like, how long can I keep this going before he hangs up?
Did you tell him you loved him? Like, how many times?
Sure enough, he hung up on me, dude. I won. He hung up on me.
That's
a victory.
That is a victory. I have to admit, that is pretty dope.
That's the Skip the Noise Challenge 2023. Send us audio of you making a sales caller hang up on you. Go ahead, Rick. I'm sorry.
Wait a second. So did you were you continuing like the sales pitch? Were you kind of like leading them on, thinking you're going to buy it, or
ish? Like it was a very calculated. Like I would kind of go back and forth. Like I'd bait him into being like, I'd ask him questions about it, but then I'd start to be weird again and ask him like random questions about himself. Like, you know what I mean? And just extend to where like he didn't want to give up on the sale. And so like, but because I used to do sales. Dude, one time this guy, I won't say what I was doing, but I had a meeting with this guy. I sat him down. Fuck, that sounded bad. My bad. Yeah, I earned it.
Oh, yeah, bro.
I deserve it.
What were you doing, bro?
No, it was a sales appointment, right? I sat down.
It was.
And he tried to slide in. Dude, he was trying to sell me some like life insurance shit.
I bet he was, and dude.
My eyes, no, fuck it.
What happened? He got in your eyes?
He was okay. He was trying to sell me some life insurance. So all of a sudden I got my eyes lit up because I'm like, oh, shut up. You're so dumb. I'm a chat GPT sucking like 6 fucking dudes.
You're the one telling the story about your eyes lit up.
Fucking,
that's how he showed you his cock. That's why
I didn't say that.
You're like, ah.
I didn't say any of that. But he started to try to sell me life insurance, and I was
Deepfake did.
Oh my god. Anyway, the moral of the story is he lost.
I bet he did.
He did fucking lose.
He lost his load.
He kept trying, but it was funny because I was like, dude, this is like a match. This is like a fucking tennis match. And I won. I got him to sign.
Sounding worse by the second of your story. It's a tennis match. Your eyes lit up.
Oh, you see what I'm doing? I'm giving you guys the thing. Anyway, but that's what I did with this guy. I manipulated him for like 5 minutes, and then he fucking hung up because he was so sick of it.
He was hung. Wow, that's crazy.
Oh, geez.
Oh my god. I hope somebody takes this soundbite and runs
a wonderful.
High five, guys.
That's
good job.
That was
a beautiful
fucking
Christmas story. I'll tell you
that was, man.
He got a pearl necklace.
It doesn't have to be Christmas. It can be any holiday celebration.
Reunions, Thanksgiving, Easter.
God, that was awesome.
But it's good for Easter too, and any holiday celebration. You're hanging out with the family. You're hanging out with the family.
Right.
You're having a succulent turkey Thanksgiving meal, right? And you're with your family, and you're like, hey, it'd be funny for us to do right now. Those little TikTok dances that are so popular.
Oh, fucking awesome.
Why don't we do one of those dances, right?
TikTok.
Together as a family. Haha, that's funny. And we could put some music to it and we'll post it. Maybe we'll become famous. You know what? Under all that, right? Under all that fun is a very sinister underbelly of CCP, spycraft,
yes.
and corporate manipulation. And now the CEO of TikTok is on trial, or he's being questioned by Congress. Rick, have you seen any of the footage of this?
Dude,
yeah,
it's fucking aggressive.
Bro, he's getting grilled. And me and Ben were talking about this before the show.
But you know what?
What's so funny? No, go ahead. You got it.
No, you're right. He's getting grilled, and he's just looking at these people, and I'm wondering, does he understand what's going on here?
I don't think he does.
I don't think he understood what anybody was saying, because he was just staring at them like deer in a headlight look, but not really, all there.
Well, there's so much like seething aggression coming at this guy because what's so funny is I honestly believe, my personal take on this, I don't think he has anything like, I truly believe he's just trying to create a fucking app, dude.
I don't think so. He's a sleeper cell, bro.
Not him though. I think he's
right.
susceptible. I think they have a point that his shit is susceptible, but I think the actual guy, what's his name? Look it up real quick.
Oh, it's hold on a second. I will bring
Chow.
Oh boy,
no, it is Chew. It's something Chew. Hold on. Bro, I'm not trying to.
What came out of your mouth?
Now you're being
a little racist.
I'm not being racist because this
Chew. It's probably Benjamin something.
No,
it's Mark English.
Okay.
It's Mark English.
Okay, guys, how far off was I? TikTok CEO, Cheeez-Itz. Okay, that was. I'm not crazy. That was kind of how it sounded.
I don't know. I don't think that's really how you pronounce that. Bro.
Found a little reprieve.
I'm pretty sure his name's Winston something.
No, it's not.
It's Winston Jones, bro.
No, it's actually not. I just read his fucking name. It's not Winston. It's Cheeez-Itz. It's a very Chinese name.
It's James Long.
Doesn't mean I'm racist to say the guy's actual fucking name, dude.
Oh my god.
Anyway, that's like other side of the woke spectrum to where you're getting
awesome,
Nazi.
bro. That was awesome.
You know what I mean? Like
you were culturally appropriating his name.
you cross the spectrum so hard at being woke that you ended up as like a fucking Nazi.
Oh my god. But his real name is James Long though.
For sure. I'm sure.
No, it's not.
That's his name.
It's Shu Chiu, right? Shu Chiu?
Yeah, that's what I did. I just told you his name.
I don't think so. You said some other word.
Susie Chu. Dude, his name is really Susie Chu. That's how it is.
Susie Chu?
Not Susie.
Bigly Chu?
Susie Q. It's like, oh, there we go. You got to stop this shit. I just want to upload the audio, condense it, and all that. I don't want to have to fucking mark the times and go back and pull out your stupid fucking comments.
Yeah,
I just
racist
wanna,
shit, man.
I just want
Big League Chew. How's that
should-
racist? You
it
guys
should
didn't grow
only-
up with that
the whole
shit?
editing process should only take me realistically about 8 minutes. But when you do bullshit like that, it takes me a little longer because I have to go find the goddamn clip of you saying this stupid shit. Anyway, but they're really up his ass. They think he's a fucking, like Ben said, he's a sleeper cell. I think
question is,
I think it's
what's
a
gonna-
concern, but
what are nurses gonna do if they take away TikTok? You
Oh,
know? What the fuck are they gonna do? Are they gonna work?
oh, you thought we were done.
Oh,
Rick just took
game
a
over.
fucking haymaker at the fucking
Jesus
medical.
Christ, you just skipped over all the non-sickle
What the fuck
people
are the
and went
nurses gonna
right
do?
after the nurses. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I mean, how else are they going to complain about how they're so
I'm still
busy?
very bitter about that.
Yeah, how are they going to complain about how they're so busy, or how they have to clean the floors, or like, you know, the scrubs they're wearing and doing dances in, you know. There are heroes, but yeah, no, I what are they gonna do? There's good, you know, that's a big that is a big argument though. Like, it's funny you're saying that, but that's a big argument. Like, all these TikTok revenue makers are what are we gonna do? What am I gonna do if TikTok's gone?
They're gonna have to get real jobs. What the fuck?
I know.
Fuck.
But with that
Well,
fucking
it
that
is-
NFT guy.
Oh, bro, NFTs are done.
No, but you know, that's already been done. But you know that one guy, the
Which one?
NFT guy that's always on
The guy was on Rogan.
the one that's like, hey,
First?
you got it. If you're not making 3 hours of content on TikTok every day, you're a fucking moron. If you're not in NFTs and crypto, that guy.
That's awesome.
No, you've never seen that guy? I forget his
That's a
name.
pretty good impression.
Like something V. You know who I'm talking
No,
about, right?
I know who you're talking
I
about.
actually don't.
By your
That's one
impression.
thing I don't.
Yeah,
fuck
just
with
by your
TikTok
impression.
much.
I don't know his name.
Yeah.
Well,
He's like Gary something.
You know what
no,
happens?
Gary V or something. Yeah.
Gary.
whatever.
Oh, I
You
know.
know what's
You know
on
what I'm talking
TikTok?
about, right?
Yes,
He's like
Gary
the
V.
NFT guy.
Yes,
like,
yes,
yeah.
yes. I
Yeah.
got it. Well, but so now, right now, everyone's freaking out about it. All these content makers, like, yeah, if you ban it, I'm gonna lose my money. But it's like, well, if we don't ban it, the Chinese are just going to continuously milk all of our information.
Right, dude. Yeah. Like,
I mean, at
Well,
some
not only
point,
that,
we have to be realistic,
the-
right?
They're gonna milk our information and then fuck up our youth with some dumb shit like, I want to be a bird. You know,
or birds are real.
I don't know.
I like
Right?
this.
Or
Birds aren't
No,
real.
no,
Birds
like-
aren't real, bro.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Like,
they're
honestly,
going to tell us
this-
that they are. Like,
I know.
obviously. they're
No,
not.
I
I
get
don't know if
it.
you've seen these
I get
articles
it. I know
about
where you're
how-
at now, bro. Huh?
about how TikTok spreads information that it influences kids to think that they have mental disabilities.
Oh boy.
And yeah,
No,
it's
I
really
know.
bad. It's bad for kids. I'll just put it that way.
Well, no.
And the reason is, oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, I
well-
was just going to say, like, TikTok. Yeah. It's a different, its potential for harm is way greater than like your old, like, in other words, I feel like TikTok is like social media fucking 3-point. Like it took a leap beyond
this-
like what the other ones are as far as like influence in your own brain. You know,
This is what happened. Some really smart dude got the most addictive elements of social media.
yeah.
They saw, they got Facebook, they looked at Instagram, they looked at all these other social medias,
YouTube.
apps, YouTube, and they got the most addictive parts of it and put it into one app.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so addictive, because it plays on your short attention span. There's nothing to read, really. You listen to everything, you watch everything. It's a long form video. You don't have to turn your phone or anything. And there's validation and interaction.
Right. And well, and the other part that's even more, I guess like the sinister side of it is how good it gets at honing in on like what you like.
Mhm.
I used to,
Well, I mean,
right?
it's social engineering from the
it's
best social engineers in the world, right? I mean, China itself is completely social engineered. So they came up with, I mean, TikTok it's literally coming from people who control the aspects of everyone's lives. They know how to social engineer everything.
No, for sure. Like they're the experts at it.
Yep.
They've been doing it for fucking years.
Exactly. So this is like their fucking perfect app.
Yeah.
So
Oh, it's like, dude, it's like bite-sized propaganda. No, here's what it is. It's like propaganda fucking Cheeez-Itz.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because
Cheez-Its are the tits.
Oh, that's the name of the fucking episode. Because it's like you have like, oh, I just have another fucking.
I give Cheez-Its to dogs.
I'll just have another Cheez-It. But it's Cheez-It because it's like it satisfies your taste buds like immediately.
Yep.
And it's like, oh, Cheez Whiz, Cheez-It, and all. It's like, fuck, dude, I ate a whole bag of Cheez-Its. Oops. It's just like, oh, I've been on TikTok for an hour and a half. Fuck, it just felt like 2 minutes.
Well, that's the average amount of time a person spends on TikTok is 90 minutes a day.
Wow.
The average TikTok user spends 90 minutes a fucking day on that shit.
And you know what's funny is like
it's addictive, bro.
That's probably even calculated to like how much time you would, you know what I'm saying? Like they know like even when your brain's wore out and be like, oh, that we're not influencing them at the optimum levels right now because we've already worn out his fucking brain waves. So we'll put a little notification that says, hey, you've been watching a little too long. Why don't you stop? Why don't you take a break? So your brain muscles can retain even more of our bullshit when you come back. That's exactly what shit. Like that's how, like if you think I'm bullshitting, that's how these fucking there's people whose whole job it is to figure out how to, like, how many employees does fucking Google have? A gazillion, and they all make like
I think that's a real number.
It is. They made it up.
A gazillion. A gazillion.
But think about it. They pay these motherfuckers to go around and shoot Nerf guns around each other and fucking jerk each other off in the their fountain drinks that have like sweet tea.
Wait, people get paid for that?
Yeah, Google they do, and then they run around like that,
and like apps all day.
They have Nerf wars in the fucking hallway.
Those could be in the Nerf gun jerk off section, huh?
Yeah, and then they have like kale smoothies and shit, and
kale smoothies and Nerf guns and jerking each other.
No, but and then the guy has to come up with 1 or 2 good ideas a week, and he get paid $500,000 a year. And like those ideas though are like, oh, like how can we warp the human brain at an even more intense level to milk these motherfuckers for all their so okay, and we're Americans, right? So there is like there is a level of like, are we going too far? Where it's like China, that doesn't, there's no governor.
There's no level.
There's no governor on their engine to like fuck the human soul. So they just keep going. They just keep putting the foot on the gas.
Yeah, Winnie the Pooh don't give up.
No, they don't,
dude. He does not care. Xi Jinping, yeah, whatever. He doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah,
he doesn't, dude.
No. It's
at all.
No, not at all.
But you know what's kind of similar to going to a third world like shithole place?
What's that?
You know, it's a very similar place to go to, and unfortunately, you too had to share this experience that I had to live in every day. So, did you make a little trip not too long ago to the desolate area known as DFW?
I did, man. And you know, it's funny.
Don't you mean MAGA country?
Yeah. Oh, it was.
No,
it was.
I would.
Hell yeah!
I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna break it out.
Break it down. Didn't you have to cut your trip short?
Well, yeah.
Fucking bad.
Let me give you. First of all, I'll go through like the timeline, right? Well, hold on. Let me start before.
Yeah.
So first, one might ask, why would you even go there, right? As much as your co-host and / best friend talks so much shit about it. I do have some family there. Obviously, Mexican Nostradamus is there. So last time I've been there, and this is, you know, obviously being from Houston, you go as one does, right? You've been to Dallas several times in your life, at least. But I hadn't been to the DFW area in like probably 2008.
Yeah, last time you saw me.
I didn't realize it. Well, yeah.
Remember you came? Yeah, remember.
Well, I went one time for that, and then I came back again I saw some family up there.
Yeah,
but yeah. So anyway, it had been years. So the idea though was just like I didn't have like a full vacation. I had like 4 days. The kids were off for spring break. So I was like, well, let's just because we'll do that. Sometimes we'll just take like a quick San Antonio trip, maybe an Austin trip, whatever, fucking Galveston, what have you. There, you know, there's like levels to it, but we haven't been to DFW in forever. So I was like, there was like 1 or 2 things that were like, that'd be kind of dope to see. So yeah, fuck it. Maybe, you know, and there was a half-ass chance that I might bump into Ben or we could figure out something. Yeah. We ended up not. So, because I was only there for a short amount of time. So here's how it goes. Right?
Because you ran away.
we left. Like we could have potentially stayed like one more kind of afternoon, and I probably could have linked up with Ben, but the trip was going so bad that I was just like, you know what, let's just wake up Saturday morning, get the fuck out of here. We had to change course. So here's how bad it went. And mind you, all this being said, I still had a fun time because you get out of town, fuck it, just to get away from. I didn't have to work for 4 days. That was good enough. Yeah. So anything I'm doing, and plus with the family, man, the kids, and you only have so many of these, right? That was part of the thing. And so I like the long drive. Like I'm gonna cover the positives first before I pile on like the shitstorm. Positives are, I don't know. Some people don't like driving long distances. I do, dude. Like, I find that there's no better way to just like clear your head. Cause like for the same reason I do the walks, man, for like some small period of time, your only focus is getting from point A to point B. It's very nice as a human being to have that direct of a goal, right? For like, even if it's a short period of time and even if it's artificial, it's like, I'm in Houston. I want to go to Dallas. That's what my mind is doing for 4 hours. And that's it. That's all I'm focused on. There's something to that. So I enjoy that. So that was positive, but we get there, right? Weather's fine. Weather's on the cooler side. We realize about an hour into the trip that my two youngest ones didn't pack jackets. So now one might say, one might say, hey Benji, like pack your fucking 5-year-old a jacket. We try to give the kids like, you know what I mean?
It was hot.
Yeah.
For like a month. It was freaking hot.
Right. So, So jacket, had it been like 30 degrees, my mind might have been like, hey, you might want to bring a jacket, but it was like in that quasi, like it wasn't that bad. So it wasn't really on my mind, but we did realize, cause it was like, damn, it's kind of getting like the temps dropping a little bit. And I had kind of thought ahead. So I had like a coat in the car or whatever, like kind of a light little jacket. And, but we realized that the two little ones, the ones that like, you want to make sure they're warm the most, don't have shit. Like they just have long sleeve shirts. So I'm like, fuck. So anyway, we already knew like we're going to get in town and we're going to have to stop at like a fucking whatever, like a Walmart. And this is like a day before St. Patty's Day. So it was kind of a fun, like first thing we did, we're like, oh, okay, let's check into the hotel. And then, that was step one, right? I got catfished hardcore. I found a good deal. I got ahead of it, right? So I just thought like, oh, that's a good price. Like, nice hotel chain. Pictures look cool. I didn't really go too far into the surroundings, I didn't like scope it out super intensely. So I just was like, oh, that's a good price. Boo, good deal. Expedia, click, done with that. And I didn't even think about it again until we actually pull up and I'm like, oh, fuck, dude. Like, not that it was bad, but I was, for me, I could give a fuck, dude. I could sleep in the back of the car, but I know my wife's reaction is going to be negative.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
When I start, yeah. So that was more the turmoil I had to, because for me, I honestly couldn't give a fuck. But I drive up there and it's like a pawn shop, a gun store, a rundown convenience store. And it's like, it's not even.
Oh, you mean the nice part of DFW?
Or for sure. And it's not even positioned like in a weird, like there's a couple of hotels like right near my house that are like at the back of a parking lot for something else.
Yeah. Like, oh, dude, I've actually stayed at that one. No, the one right there in the back of the parking lot by the gym,
behind the Buc-ee's and shit.
Yeah, like, yeah. There's some, dude. They're fine. They're safe.
No, they're nice,
they're
but
great.
But over here, this was kind of a similar setup in that it was just weird because like you had to go, and there was actually another hotel that it was like directly behind. So it kind of like shared a part. I don't know. It was just a weird layout. So anyway, in other words, like you have to drive behind a gun store to get to the parking lot to the hotel. There you go. That's kind of, do you see what I'm saying? Like
that's pretty cool.
So to get to the entrance, you have to go
that's
behind.
Pretty cool. Fucking
you have to go behind this alley of this shitty gun store with like all their chain link fence around their fucking AC units, and like so it's just shitty. And then there's like a warehouse on the other side. So there's like about 18 trailer docks. So that's like the setting, right? And I pull up and it's like, it's not dirty, but it's not the best, right?
Well, yeah, it's not
the best
at all.
So that was that, right?
Right.
And now I'll start to do the abbreviated version. I just wanted to give you like a layout, right? So let's just put it this way. So we go to okay, first things first, let's get something to eat. We haven't eaten yet. So we find a place, like, I was all right, but it was like, dude, it was just like super dirty. Like they had glass sort of like partitions, and you could tell nobody had sprayed any fucking Windex on that shit for like like just the overall vibe was just like, man, nobody gives a fuck here. Like this would not fly in Houston because like,
oh, dude, trust me.
And
there's
I'm not
a lot
saying,
of
like,
thing. Dude,
I'm not
no,
saying there's
you're
shit like that, but it was a stark, it was a stark difference where I was like, a similar establishment in a similar part of town in a similar, like, in other words, I was translating everything to Houston. I was like, there's no fucking way they would let this glass be dirty. You know what I mean? Like, there's just more of a get up and like, oh no, we got to make money on the fucking set on every minute. You know what I mean? So shit like that gets handled. Like,
yeah, dude.
Like lawns are manicured. You know what I mean? Like I'm with
you 100%.
I see what you mean.
You see what I mean? Like there's so much more of a sense of like, no. Like there's so much competitiveness, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yes.
That like your shit, like a similar stat, because this wasn't a bad place. Like, yeah, you go into like shitty, like whatever, like some wing stop in a shitty part of town. Yeah, there's going to be trash on the floor. That's not what this was, though. That's what I'm saying. Like this was like kind of a nice, like in kind of, like a well-trafficked area, kind of like a Asian fusion restaurant. But it was like fucking, there was like shit all over the toilets, like stuff like that. And I'm like, dude, this fucking, you guys would close in like 2 seconds. So anyway, so it was little things like that I pick up on. So I'm like, it's just okay. Like it's I haven't been here in a while.
Like,
but I get it. If
you go to an establishment like that, yeah. Like if you go to an establishment like that in Houston, you're gonna go. You know what you're getting into,
right?
Okay, because you know the part of town you're in. You know the kind of restaurant is going to be. You know what to expect. Okay, like if I go to a taqueria somewhere like in Mexican Bel Air, I know what I'm gonna go into. I know what to expect.
It's good.
But if I'm gonna go to it's gonna be what you expect, you know?
Yeah.
There's gonna be boxes.
The food's gonna be decent.
There's gonna be inventory in the hallway into the restroom. Yes. There's gonna be, you're gonna see pots and pans near the restaurant. You know what you're gonna see. But if you go to an establishment that let's just say, I don't know, Kirby or something, or Westheimer.
That's what I'm saying.
Yo,
you know what to expect in Westheimer.
Oh, it's gonna be fucking pristine.
Yeah,
it's gonna be pristine.
It's gonna be, even though the restaurant may not have a big budget, it's still gonna be clean.
Right.
You can expect that.
Right. Because if not, they're gonna die. Not die like that, but like they're gonna go under.
You just fucking get rough.
They're only gonna last for anyway. That was kind of a weird impression, but it was something that stuck out because I was just looking. I picked, you know what I mean, dude. This is what we do like every week.
Well, it's a dirty town. A DFW is a shitty, dirty place.
I mean, there's whatever. There's good parts.
It's
to
MAGA
too,
country.
obviously. But here's the thing: I did notice that when I was like, because you know how when you're listening, because if I have a family trip, I normally just listen to like terrestrial radio,
right?
And like if I'm solo, right, I got my shit plugged in. But like a family trip, dude, we're just normally listening to fucking top 40 pop hits or whatever.
Right.
Just to like, it's like a dentist office, right? You're just trying to fucking please everybody. So that normally what's on the radio. So normally what will happen is once we cross like radio territories, you'll switch to like whatever the equivalent is to like that fucking pop station. When we got into like the DFW fucking broadcasting vicinity, it was like every station was like either country or Christian.
Yo, yeah,
nice.
And that I was like, whoa, that's weird. There's weird too, because like in Houston, it's either in Spanish, like for one, probably 85% of just like Spanish speaking shit, like whether it's music or talk or whatever. But then, don't get me wrong, you'll get the Christian, like there's at least like 3 or 4 Christian station. You obviously have like a country, like kind of a representative country, but then like the others will you have your pop, just like every other, major radio market, but it's like more like there's at least like 4 or 5, like urban stations. And then like I said, the other 80% is fucking, fucking Spanish music.
Right.
And maybe like one or two country. This like no bullshit. There was like 6 fucking country stations. And I was like,
bro.
whoa.
Every other station is country music.
I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
So that's the whole point of me telling this is like, even though I know, obviously Ben, we joke about it all the time. Ben says it's different and it's bullshit and he hates it.
It's
but
shit.
like, I know that internally, but when you see it in person, I was like, whoa, I guess it's more even different than I had it even in my head. Like I thought I was exaggerating sometimes when I say shit like that, but no, there's the difference. So anyway, we get there, right? And immediately when we get there, like I texted Ben, like, hey man, just FYI, like we're in town or whatever. He's like, oh, like where are you staying? And we were kind of like around Arlington-ish kind of area, kind of in between. Like if you don't know the area, it's like kind of right in between.
Arlington is literally in between Dallas and Fort Worth.
Yeah,
so
and it's really like
it's like the butthole.
It's kind of another city too.
Of the area.
I think Arlington has like 300,000. Like,
oh, it
so
does. It's a good sized city.
Yeah, like it never gets talked to, but that's where like the Cowboys play and shit like that.
Right.
So it's right in between Dallas and Fort Worth. And so we're standing around there and all of a sudden Ben's like, oh, bro, like you literally need to take shelter right now. There's a fucking tornado. I'm not joking.
It was.
And like
a tornado.
I'm in a Walmart. I'm in a pretty shitty Walmart trying to find jackets. And mind you, the next day, St. Patrick's Day. So like we were kind of having fun picking out like, oh, it's got to have some green on it for the girls. That'd be funny or cute or whatever. So that's what we were doing. We're in the Walmart and I texted him and he goes, and he told me the tornado. And like, as soon as he's saying that, then like everybody's phone's going off, like the Amber Alert, like, and I'm thinking normally that's Amber Alert, but I see it's like serious tornado warning. It's like, oh shit. So I'm like, fuck, he's serious. Like I was going to go, cause normally Ben is like, he likes, like Ben, it takes enjoyment out of giving people bad news. Does that make sense?
I fucking love it.
He does, right? Like
I fucking
like,
do.
He likes to tell us that, like, hey, man, we're all fucked. Like, like get ready to have to eat, canned corn
shit
for 6 months, and your family's gonna have to live on gold bullion to exchange it with the cavemen that are in the next town.
I'm telling you,
he likes to do that.
Bro, I told you. Remember, I called it with COVID. How long?
No, you did. No, I'm not saying you're not dialed in, but like
I am the prophet of
take
doom.
Enjoyment. He is, and he enjoys it. So he likes, in other words, he's like, oh, fuck, you're about 8 feet from like a devastating tornado. But he was like, right. And then I was like, fuck, dude, because I had plans. Honestly, I'm the type of dude, I'm kind of in this way a little bit different than Ben, where I'm like, oh, there's a tornado. I think I can outpace it, because I wanted to go to this one park that had like this badass lake. And I was like, dude, we can make like, in my head, as we were walking to my car, I literally am thinking like, I get it. Like people are freaked out. It's dangerous, but I'm going far enough away that like, we'll go, whatever. Like we'll still be able to hit that real quick before the storm hits. And then I'll get back to the hotel. I get out and then I'm like, I see the sky. And I was like, oh no, maybe that's not. And I actually had to take some humble pie. I was like, oh, I think he's right. I think we are going to just have to.
Dude,
like,
I was actually
worried
about
the hotel.
I was worried about y'all.
Yeah, no, it was bad.
You got to be careful, man. That shit's bad.
It was really bad. And then so we did make it to the hotel like just in time. And as soon as we got there, and like everything on whatever TV is playing wherever I was at is like telling, it's got all the doom and gloom, like blah blah blah, residents of like this whole area I was in were like, take shelter, ace, like now, like they're telling you like, get the fuck inside. Like it's red alert. That, mind you, I didn't hear them specifically, but there was like tornado horns all over that area. Like I didn't even know y'all had that, but there's fucking tornado sirens. Like
what? Really?
Yeah, no, they have tornado.
No, we do. Like we have them in every,
like they have air
every
raid.
neighborhood has them. We have like, it's like air raids, like the Germans are coming. It's crazy. So anytime we actually even have anything over 70-mile-an-hour straight line winds, are like larger, what we consider serious hail, which is larger than golf ball size, the sirens go off too.
Yeah, so it was legit. And then so we got back to our hotel like right in time to like run in before, like there was a little bit of rain, but it started coming in fucking sideways, and like there was a little bit of hail. And then I was watching the news, like the weather and shit, and they were showing like footage of tornadoes just ripping through shit and fucking baseball size hail. I was like, fuck, man, fuck.
So
this.
that was your vacation?
Pretty much,
awesome.
dude. And then we did one cool thing. We went to see, and while shout out to the Dallas Botanical Gardens and whatever. So like that was cool. And then there was like a tour of like the property owner.
Dallas Botanical Garden. You never been there, right, Ben?
I've been there.
It's nice.
It's not bad.
You like it? It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's pretty.
See?
It's fine.
It's not bad. It's not bad. You see?
Yeah. I mean, how can you not like flowers?
Yeah, no. Well, and that's the thing.
It's pretty rough.
Does it redeem the entire region? No. But
I mean,
it was nice.
It pales in comparison to the Houston one. Like pales.
No, for sure. There's way more of that.
Way more like everything.
But it was nice. It was nice. And they had a nice tour. So
very quaint.
The positive part of it was that we had to walk across the park. And, with everybody, my wife's like, well, they had these little golf carts that would go like kind of shuttle you from back and forth, mostly for like old people. But we're like, fuck it. Well, they were free. So
yeah, fuck yeah.
We jumped on one, and this guy, he was like originally from New York, this older volunteer, really funny, like outspoken guy. Like he was cracking jokes and kind of being, just kind of that like New York sense of humor. Like, well, where are you guys from? Houston. He's like, okay, get off. Shit like that, right? Like it was funny.
Yeah.
But he had an accent or whatever, and he was cracking jokes. So we go over, and he goes, oh, what you really should do is take the he's like, did y'all go to the house yet? We said no, and he goes, oh, it's like if you come here, like that's worth it. Like you go blah blah blah, take a tour of the house that was owned by. He's giving us the history of the fucking place. So anyway, we're like, fuck it, whatever. Like this is why we're here, so let's go. And in my head, I'm thinking, the kids are gonna like check out, and like they're not gonna give a fuck. Because it's this like older lady, right? She's talking about this fucking room in the house and what was here then. Bro, they were like intrigued.
What I mean?
And yeah, so it was a complete shock. And like all of them didn't say a word. Dude, even my youngest was like being perfectly good, and she was listening. And then we move on to the next room, and they're talking, and they're all interested. And all of a sudden this like light bulb is, and I was like, dude, I feel like a biggest piece of shit, because I'm always thinking like, oh, we got to take them to like a fucking water park, or we got to, dude, the fucking best part of the trip for them was like this little history lesson by this old lady about this fucking house. Like nobody really gave a shit outside of the context of this situation, but they were super intrigued. And I was like, fuck, man, now I should. So it gave me all these ideas like, I should take them here.
Dude, fucking Alamo.
Yeah, like shit.
Dude,
that
if you go to Alamo, do the tour there. Oh my God, it's so much fun.
But it's like all this shit that I like that I don't think, because I like that shit, dude. I like old history and whatever, museums and shit. Like I sit there and like read the things, Yeah. And everybody else was just like, oh, let's get the fuck out of here.
Who's this fucking weirdo?
Yeah, but anyway, but they were super and just like, oh yeah, we can go here, we can do all this. But anyway, but that was pretty much and then the other good part we had. Well, just to kind of finish everything off, we had a good hibachi experience.
Nice.
But the problem was driving there. So that was the other theme. Like all the little spots we wanted to hit that we kind of pre-planned were interrupted by no less than like 2 hours of traffic every single place we went, because of either road construction or like detours or just like accidents. So like we never got in a rhythm of like having a good time, if that makes sense. Because like, we're going here to go to this place we wanted to eat at, and it's like, the major accident on blah 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 road. God damn it. So I'm looking on the fucking GPS to try to figure out a route to get there, and then like, then there's an accident. Like, that doesn't exist anymore because the thing. Yeah. So like driving around was like 90% of the fucking thing, and sitting in traffic. And so obviously like everybody's pissed, and like their nerves are shot. So like, I was just like, fuck this, let's get out of here.
It's when it comes to the traffic in this area, I've never seen anything like it. It's just, it's like when you take like nobody has any concept of civic engineering here. It's just like, can you put a football stadium there?
Right. Well,
do it.
I have a theory.
That's it. They build football stadiums here.
Right.
That's
well,
it.
here's
Not
the major
freeways.
Here's the major difference. With over there, it's like, so if it was just like, let's say Dallas or whatever, it'd be different.
Yeah.
But there's different, like so many different sort of municipalities and counties. So for anything, like any one concept to, you know what I mean, to
arrange it
happen,
all, to
arrange
coordinate
it all,
things,
right?
yes.
To coordinate it takes like all kinds of bullshit. Therefore, it's just sort of that, like the traffic is a perfect example. It's not any worse. Obviously, Houston traffic is terrible, but the difference is like the traffic there it's more of like a clusterfuck because there's no like concept. Whereas like, you know, if you go to like San Antonio or like Houston or, you know, whatever, there's sort of like, oh, there's a loop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's like kind of an inner city loop.
There's a real
like
grid
kind of a
roads.
there's like a suburban loop. Then there's like there's interstates that go like east and west. There's interstates that go north and south. Then there's like highways that go northwest, southwest. You know what I mean? Like
right.
A spoken wheel. So like you've got freeways that go in every general direction. So you're never far from a freeway. And then the roads are pretty much grid pattern. So everything goes either north or south or west. So there's like some sort of like a sense. Like it looks very human. Whereas that shit is just like,
it's just spaghetti noodles.
No, it is. And like no road goes directly to anything and no freeway makes any kind of fucking sense. And there's like, there'll be like overlapping freeways that are like 2 miles from each other that go the same fucking direction.
Fuck, dude. And then then they end and then they don't end. And then they come back like 55 miles later, that freeway comes back and they're like, why is that freeway back? It's been gone the whole time. Or where am I?
Or it turns from a freeway into like a main street of a little town like what the fuck am I? Now I'm in like a little town. Like
what turns into somebody's fucking driveway?
I'm like only 2 miles from the downtown Dallas, but I'm in like a small town of population 300. Like, how did this fucking happen?
And all of a sudden you're in a cul-de-sac. You're like,
Nothing
I was
sense,
just on a major freeway. I'm in a cul-de-sac. It's not only stupid, it's shitty. So I when you said you were coming here, my heart hurt. Cause like, God, I know he's adventurous. I know he likes it grimy, but there is no redeeming factors here. There is just not. Yeah. Unfortunately. I mean, you know, I'm not saying all the people here are bad. There's some good people I've met out here.
Yeah, people are great.
People are great. But when it comes to the overall structure and nicely done, sir. Nicely. I don't know what to transition to, but it's getting dirty up in this. Well, there
was a story in Ben's
old hood.
Ben's old hood that happened recently where a gentleman was
showed his purple.
Oh man, I don't know. That's rough.
He was arrested for let's just say asphyxiating his wife to death.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like of all the fetishes, right? Autoerotic asphyxiation. Like
that's dangerous, man.
Like, well, look, I guess I'm super vanilla about shit, right? But I just couldn't imagine like choking myself or being choked or choking somebody and just still being able to groove. You know what I'm saying? Like I just don't. I'm just a vanilla person. Yeah. I couldn't do it.
So here's the thing, though. How do we know? Like that's what he said it was. How do we know he didn't just choke her to death and like, oh yeah, right, fucking, and I went too far. Like,
or maybe he fucking fooled her into it, started fucking her, and she's like, oh, we're just having regular sex.
Yeah.
Just fucking murder her.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, how do you?
Oh God, just taking the fact that the dude's a fucking sicko and he probably murked his wife because apparently, I guess there's got to be something along the terms of this arrest. I mean, you know, who knows? He probably had some type of history of abuse or some shit. But just the concept of choking somebody and having sex with them is just, I just don't find that appealing. I don't find it appealing. I don't feel like it meets a need that like I ever would have, right? I mean, fuck, dude. I just, I don't get that part. I mean, and the worst is like the kids who jerk off and do it to themselves, like, you know, like hanging, like David Carradine style.
Right. That's what I was gonna say. He was the most famous.
Oh fuck!
I mean, of that
he was choking the shit out of himself to kill himself like that. I mean, he was like, ooh, tonight 5 notches on the belt. You know, it's just like, fuck, man. It's like,
yeah, it's a weird.
Oof.
Well, he was wearing women's pantyhose
thing.
too.
Was he
Oh,
really?
yeah.
No,
Yeah, he was
wasn't.
wearing women's pantyhose when they found him.
Yeah, that's
Oh my god,
it's a weird thing,
Yeah.
man. Like that's it.
That's Kill Bill for you.
or
I
that's
saw-
just, or that's you've done so much, you've had so much sex, and you just ran through so much shit that
Oh, right.
in order to even get off, you have to just do just wild shit now. You know what I'm saying? Like you just can't have sex normally anymore.
No, it's been ruined
Madness.
for you. You've done so much weird shit that just the normal missionary stuff isn't going to help you anymore.
Oh
Let's put it
fuck,
that way.
dude, that's wild.
Well,
That's
the
wild.
thing. Like at that point, it's not even
Sex.
sex anymore, right? Like it gets into more of a kind of the addictive part of the brain, I think. Like
Yeah, it's
more of
like
the-
porn.
Yeah. It's right. It's or porn is that too. Like or like
right.
it's along that same vein. Yeah, where it's more of well, I mean, yeah, I guess by definition, right? They call
Yeah,
those
I
things
mean-
fetishes, right? Like
Yeah.
people kind of fixate on these weird ideas and it gets associated with sex. So that's how they sort of it's weird shit, man.
It's like watching porn, you know. At first we start watching it, it takes, maybe 30 seconds to find something, but then as you keep watching it, it takes a while to start finding something that actually turns you on. You start searching for different things. You're like on this page 7 of the videos.
dude.
Right.
Just
Well-
keep scrolling. Page 8, nothing happens.
Page
well, no, you know what that is though.
Page
That's-
9.
the dynamic there though is
Page
just
9.
too many options.
Yeah.
There's way too. That's
That's
what
a
happens.
Netflix. That's a Netflix.
That's
role.
a net. No, the Ben high five. That's exactly what it is. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you can never do. How many times have you got Netflix on, like loaded up, and you scroll, and then all of a sudden you end up shutting it off 30 minutes later? 'Cause
Yeah.
all you're
Oh,
doing
yeah.
is scrolling to find something because you can't decide.
I
on
just
the
can't. I can't deal with
three.
it.
Well, you can't commit to
Yep.
the one show that's
commit.
probably really good.
That's true.
That is
Yeah.
true.
You
That is
you
true.
can't commit because you're like, I don't want to invest. Once again, that's why TikTok works because you don't have to invest in shit. You just
Yeah.
absorb it.
Just turn on the app and it
Just
starts
quick.
appearing.
Just quick nuts
Full-
from CCP.
Full circle, exactly. You don't have to sit through the credits. You don't have
Yeah.
to like.
Full
Yeah.
frontal blast
Full
from the communist
presentation.
CCP, bro. They're just like, you are going to listen to this. You're going to do this and you're going to do that. It's fucking
Yeah.
crazy. But yeah, dude. I don't know. No, right. You know what else is fucking weird? S&M, like where chicks are kicking dudes in the balls and stuff, and they
Yeah,
just get
that's
off to that.
interesting.
That's scary. Just
That's
scary.
the one I can't. I mean, maybe I can conceive of a lot of things, but getting kicked in the balls, fuck that. I don't
Yeah, bro.
ever want that to happen.
Are like punch
alone,
and
like,
shit.
Invite
Like
it to
violence
happen.
and sex.
Yeah, that's a weird combo.
I don't
I'm
get,
not-
dude. I don't get that ride. I just don't
yeah,
get
I'm more,
it.
I'm
You know
more
what
into
saying?
like helping each other.
Yeah, like, hey, let's
You know?
cuddle.
Yeah, we're
Like,
doing something like
yeah.
for mutual benefit,
I'm
not
about to
for
blow this. I'm about to blow this load. I don't want to like Roy Jones Jr. this shit. I just want to fuck.
yeah,
man.
I know. I don't want to inflict fucking pain on you,
You
really.
know, like,
Well, I
fuck.
mean, maybe a reasonable amount, but not
Jesus,
like
you're
violent.
Captain Stabbing over here. Just
You know what? Never mind. Scratch that. Maybe I am
no,
fucked
don't
up.
scratch it. Pound that
I
shit.
get it. Never mind. I get it.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
But moving on. I was gonna say, did you guys hear? There's been another school shooting. Not to kind of roll into this little
Yeah.
one. So apparently the kid rolled
Yeah.
out, killed 2 administrators, and then they found his car, I think a couple miles or a mile or 2 away from the scene, and he was gone too. So
Yeah,
another school shooting, guys. There's been multiple this last week. There's been multiple.
He
Just
was a
this week
current,
alone.
like he was a current student at that school.
I think
a
a current,
high
or he
school?
had just been kicked out. It was a high school, I believe. Yes, hold on. Let me
What's sad
double
is there's
check.
so many of
It
these.
was a
I
high
didn't
school.
even know.
Huh?
No,
Yeah,
you're
he-
right. It was a high school in Denver.
Denver has actually is in East High School in Denver. The suspect was Austin Lyle. Yeah, they're just another. They don't know. No one knows why he did it. No one knows what happened totally, and basically that's just what it is. But I think right now we're up to 300 mass shootings or something at this point.
For the year.
Yep. It's just, I mean, at some point you have to kind of start thinking like, maybe we start thinking about some type of filtering. I mean, I definitely think in Texas, with there being so much open carry and stuff like that, it still happens here, which is crazy. But there has to be something, right? There has to be some type of mechanism.
Not
but
as much.
Yeah,
Dude,
it doesn't happen.
This morning, this morning I was driving back from the gym. It was maybe like 7:30 or 7:45,
right?
And I see road rage happening. And then right behind me, like two cars going at it, honking at each other. And I'm thinking, man, someone's gonna pull out a gun. Like I'm gonna have to start ducking right now.
Right.
Yeah. You know, because it's a real concern here. At least here in Houston, it is, because it used to be that you could just throw the finger at somebody, honk at them, you know, maybe pump your brakes in front of them. Okay, I get that. But man, these guys were taking it seriously, man. They were like throwing the cars at each other. They were honking at each other.
That's when it gets real fucked up.
Yeah, dude, it was getting rough. And I was on Braeswood. So on one side you have houses, the other side you have the bayou. So you're stuck in this on Braeswood.
Dude, I'd take my chance to the bayou at that point.
Yeah, really. I'd jump out and swim like fucking Tarzan. Like,
no shit. Fuck, dude, bullets don't care. They'll fuck you up.
And I'm hoping that, you know, if there's somebody who has a gun, hopefully it's not the guy behind the guy in front, you know, because he's going to be pointing towards my truck. Because I was in front of them. I was driving ahead of them. And so if one of them had a gun and they're pointing at my direction, it's game over.
Yeah, it is. It is. Fuck. Yeah. But but that's been a problem in Houston forever. I remember my dad, you know, this is many, many years ago. He told me a story once where he was driving, and so he was driving, and these two people were like, you know, similar situation like you're describing, Rick. And so somehow my dad was in front of him, and they both go around my dad, and my dad's now in the middle of them, and he looks to one side. One side, the guy puts his gun on the dashboard, and then he looks to the other side. The guy does the same thing. My dad's like, man, fuck this shit. Oh shit! It's like he just breaks and gets out of there. But he says they just started staring at each other with their guns, like right there. You're just like, fuck, like, you know. So road rage has definitely been around quite a while. I just think now people are so amped up about everything.
Oh man,
that they're just, you know, and also I don't think people understand consequences, right? I think people throw these tantrums and they feel they're super tough in their little glass and metal enclosure.
Yeah, man.
And they don't realize reality, which is like, dude, you might get killed.
You know what I think it is, or most of it. There's obviously multiple explanations, but I think it's just overall, I think it's just we're a society of fucking
savages,
adult babies.
No, not savages, dude. These are like adult babies. I agree.
Like tantrums, man. That's what these things are. Fucking tantrums.
They're grown-up tantrums with real consequences.
Because society allows you basically to exist in like this prolonged fucking adolescence, man. And
right?
Am I wrong? Like, you know what I mean? I mean, as long as you're coherent enough to like keep the fucking lights on and your, you know, your the integrity of your locks, you know, they don't switch them on you. You know, the fucking, I don't know. It would be unheard of 30 years ago to think of like, you know, fucking adults are into like, and not, dude, this is gonna sound, I'm gonna catch a lot of shit for this, but you know, you see adults with like
anime
when Marvel, yeah, man, or like when Marvel was, yes, bro, going to like,
hey man,
shit,
fuck
like,
yeah, dude, cosplay's fucking dope.
And like, I get it, right? That's what I'm saying. I was trying to be careful to choose my words because like
cosplay
like,
for
I'm
life.
not, dude, I'm not knocking all that. Like I get that kind of the
culture. I am.
Grow the fuck up. No, but there's but also too, there's a part of my brain that's the same thing.
Get
like,
beat up by a state pub marshmallow, man.
Be a fucking come on, like grow up a little bit. Like this is kind of ridiculous. Like in other words, if I see a guy my age and he's got a fucking you know what I'm saying, Hulk shirt on or some shit, I'm like, okay, man, like the fuck are what do we do?
Well, you know what's bad is that, you know, with these guys who don't want to grow up, have kids, they end up ignoring the kids and continue on with their hobbies.
No, that happens too.
On the fucking they don't really games. They want to play video games. They want to keep playing video games. They want to pursue their hobbies that don't really benefit anybody, you know, not even themselves. And they ignore their kids and they don't want to be a part of their kids' life. They just want to keep doing whatever they're doing.
Boy. Rick's really going for this motherfucker. Rick's really,
dude, he's pissed.
Sorry, man. I see it, you know, and the poor kids, bro, like they don't learn anything. They don't spend time with their dads or nothing.
Oh boy.
So sorry, man.
Oh
Ben,
boy. Yeah.
Did I say something? What? What's
man,
happening?
it's just getting kind of rough over here.
Struck a nerve.
Fucking.
I see it, man. No, it's depressing.
It is depressing. It is depressing. I think that's definitely a bad aspect, especially just ignoring your kids, stuff like that. That's just a bad aspect of the part of this whole thing that's been corrupted by TikTok, because that's what most of these fuckers are doing when they're ignoring their fucking kids, is looking at TikTok. So, just got to blame it on good old TikTok and the CCP. But I think we're going to start not blaming this one, and we're going to end this, start getting this one ready to wrap up.
Yeah, it's been a week. We're all pretty exhausted, man. It's gonna be kind of on the short side, but we did get
poopy boys.
We did get all three reunited for the first time in
the band's
several weeks. Band's back together.
Band is back together. We fucking rocked it out with our cocks out, and this is a good one. I think we had some fun. I think we got a chance to kind of go over some stuff. Hopefully no one deep fakes the whole episode and it's just Rick and Ben talking about how they're going to elope. But where can they find us, Ben? So they can send us
that was a real conversation.
Yeah, no, they can.
It's a real conversation.
They can surely find us on Instagram at skip_the_noise_podcast. They can also Twitter at skip the noise PO1. They can email skipthenoisepodcast@gmail.com. And not on TikTok.
Nope.
Not anymore.
We're not like
Not
you know
anymore.
what? We're not like
believe
Rogan.
in the hype. Yeah, exactly.
We're not like Rogan. Do you see that? He
does.
talks all this shit about TikTok, but he
has an account now.
Well, no, his comedy club does.
Oh yeah.
So he talks all this shit, but now he's got the comedy mothership is on TikTok. It's like
when it comes time to make money,
you're down for the CCP if you got that money.
Yeah, and that, it wasn't like an easy decision because
like get some followings there.
Well, yeah, and that had the most interaction, like the TikTok.
But if it's not the CCP, it's somebody else, guys. Look at Twitter.
Right.
Look what happened with Twitter. How it was run by, I mean.
Well, that's the thing. Somebody can just.
Is it any different?
Maybe what Elon was doing was showing us, if you've got enough money, you can just buy, and then now.
That was a poor purchase, not the best purchase.
No, it wasn't. But what it does show is that potentially, right, if you were rich enough, you could just buy Google, and now, if you're like Dr. Evil type of guy, but you've got $1 zillion, and you can just buy Google from just rip it from the shareholders. And do a hostile takeover. Now you're like, now I own everything you've ever done in your whole life, basically.
Yeah, true.
So
that's it.
And then I can harvest information to make all of you my slaves.
I think maybe us three can pull our money together and then buy TikTok.
That'd be dope.
Yeah.
Hey, let's do it, man. Let's start.
Right before it's closed down, I bet they'll give it to us for a fire sale price.
Hey, if you want us to purchase Google and harvest all your information, or at least enhance the output of the show, we could upgrade some audio equipment. Donate to us at if you get the app called Good Pods, right? You can listen to the show on there. It's a great little podcasting app. Plus you can interact with other podcast creators or just podcast listeners. Great app. I recommend it. Go in your app store, and if you follow us on there, you have the option to send us a donation, through PayPal or fucking Venmo or whatever. So if you want to do that, I highly
fucking Venmo, one of those fucking forms of payment.
Wherever you can get cash to us. Doge.
Or if you just want to put cash inside a box and then send it over to one of our houses, that'd be great too.
You could do that too.
I will not be giving said address over the air.
Or if we wanted to trade in either gold bullion or fucking pelts or whatever.
Our skin.
Yes.
Or just
raccoon skins.
Or favors.
Or teeth.
But yeah, well, you can find me on Twitter with my occasional rants at Mexican Nostradamus. Where can they find you, Rick?
We're on Instagram, Brown Python.
Instagram. Where are you at? Yeah. What's your name on Instagram there, boo boo?
The Brown Python.
Brown Python. All right. So with that, I think we're gonna go wrap this one up in a nice little cute bun so that you can, smack it, maybe throw in the oven, enjoy a little later.
Yeah.
With that, keep it real, represent. Good night, folks.
Have a great week.